What is up, YouTube? This is Chris, Young Professional Dad, and I'm back with another knife video. Earlier today, I put out a video, my best premium knives that I got for the month of 2025. Listen to me. I can't get to a video today without messing up. For the month of February in the year 2025. It was just my premium folders. Now, I did get a little carried away. I put all my knives on there. Actually, not all of them, but most of them. I didn't want to leave anybody out. I didn't want to hurt any knives' feelings because I didn't want them being on that table for the next month thinking, why was I left out? So I included most of them. I wanted them all to feel welcomed, accepted, and part of the family. So I made the video a little too long. This video is going to be quicker and easier. Why? Because this is my best fixed blades from the month of February of 2025. And what I did to make it shorter was I broke it into 5 categories: camping and survival, EDC, self-defense or tactical, budget, and the small mini EDC knife. Now, these are not all the knives that I got fixed blade for February 2025, but these are my 5 best. And remember, these are not the 5 best knives available in February 2025. That'd be a never-ending video. How many knives are out there right now? I can't list all those knives. I don't even have all those knives. These are the best knives that I got in the month of February 2025. Now, without saying anything else, before I do, welcome to my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for checking out my video and seeing what I got going on. One last time, I want to remind everybody, tomorrow's a big day. Make sure that you tune in. March the 3rd, 2025. It's our biggest giveaway yet. We're giving a couple of knife budgets away, a couple of knives, different things. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going live Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, March the 3rd. If you're not part of that giveaway yet, all you need to do is like this video, subscribe to my channel, and go over and watch my other video titled Huge Knife Budget Giveaway. And it's going to tell you all about the giveaway. It's only a few minutes long, and the one thing you need to do to be a part of it. We want everybody to be a part of this, and we want no one to miss out on their chance. Nobody. So please, check that video out. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and make sure, if you can, you tune in tomorrow. I understand life comes first. These are just petty knives videos and us just having some fun. So if you can't make it, no sweat. Do what you got to do. If you can make it, we'll have some fun together. All right, guys. So here's my 5 knives. First, I'm going to start off with my Bushcraft and survival knife. Now, there's a lot of better knives out there on the market, but this is the best one that I got, and I love this knife. I absolutely love this knife for more than one reason, and it is the Tops Baja. Boy, the Baja makes me say, aha, yeah, I want some more, please, because this knife is fantastic. It is a massive chunk of 1095 steel that is absolutely aching to go out to the woods and chop down a tree or two. I'm telling you, this thing is ready to go. The only problem is my legs won't make it. So the knife has to sit on my shelf and look good. It's not fair to the knife, but it is what it is. It's not fair to me either. You don't hear me complaining about it. But this is a fantastic knife. Has micarta handles. I also like it because it's got divots on both sides. So if you're left hand or right hand, you can use those divots for a bow drill. Now, when my legs did work and my back wasn't giving out on me, before my accident, I was out in the woods all the time. I lived in a tent for 2 years, hiking the Appalachian Trail, doing things like that. I was all over the place, all over the country. I had a blast. I did all kinds of primitive stuff. I built my own shelters. I started my own fires with nothing but primitive skills. And this kind of knife would have been a dream because of those divots right there for bow drilling. It's fantastic. It's got excellent jimping on top, if you see that. The kind of jimping that I like that's aggressive, where they take a big axe and they just start chopping at the top of the steel to take big hunks out. Not literally, that's not literally what they do, but might as well be. I love that style of jimping. Feels great. It's got a good flat grind, a great edge, a long edge. I mean, you've got a lot of cutting edge right there. This is good for feather sticking. It's good for batoning. It is not the best at any one thing. For instance, a Mora is going to be better at feather sticking than this is, but this is going to do the job and do it pretty easy. That Lost Trail 5 back here on the table is going to be better at chopping and batoning than this knife will, but this knife is going to do the job. It's going to get it done pretty easily, pretty efficiently. So it's a jack of all trades, but an ace of none. This knife can take any abuse, not any, I mean, you can break any knife if you absolutely wanted to. Let's be realistic. But for the most part, within reason, whatever you're going to really do in a camping and survival situation, this knife is going to take it. It's going to shake it off. It's going to live up to it. And it's going to keep going. And where it's $10.95, it's going to be easy to sharpen and hone your edge in the field, even if you're a beginner. If you don't know how to sharpen a knife, I always tell people then start out with high carbon steel because it's easier to hone, it's easier to sharpen, it's easier to strop an edge using a diamond sharpener, using a ceramic rod, using a leather strop, whatever. It's going to be easier to sharpen this than it will like a stainless steel blade. So that's great about the 1095 steels. You go out and you beat them up in the woods. You can find anything around, a rock for instance, and you can put an edge back on this thing if you know what you're doing. Feels good in the hand. It's a good sized knife. Excellent. With that flat grind, you could even do some food prep, some stuff like that if you needed to. You could even do some hunting tasks, cleaning, skinning, different things. Now, I wouldn't really recommend this for that, but if you needed to in a pinch, it would, it could do the job. Now, if this was a movie, this would be the A-list actor. This would be leading the show. You're banking on this right here. But you always have to have a supporting cast. And with this knife, it has an excellent supporting cast with this leather sheath. This leather sheath right here is beautiful. This is so well made, so well crafted. The stitching, the loop here, the dangler loop, the steel ring right here, everything. It's just, this thing is flawless. It's gorgeous. I mean, look at this beautiful sheath right here. Star of the show, no doubt. Without this knife, this is just a useless piece of... I do this every video. It wouldn't be a unprofessional dad video if I didn't gibberish a little bit. It's like I'm talking to my 3-year-old. But what I was saying, or trying to say, before I had an epileptic attack, was this is the star of the show. Without this, this is a useless piece of leather. Nothing more, nothing more, nothing less. But when you put these two together, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. And it also comes with a few little add-ons. This ferro rod is massive. This is a big ferro rod. I've got tons and tons of ferro rods. I am ferro rod poor, let me tell you. But it's got a good sharp spine for striking, and a ferro rod this size is going to last you a long time. So you can get a lot of fires out of this. And it's got a survival whistle. Now I've got a ton of survival whistles as well. I've used to have tons of these from when I was selling these things for 50 cents a piece with the prep shack that we owned. And because these are pretty popular amongst preppers and stuff like that. They didn't say tops on them. They were just usually green, brown, black, whatever, orange. But the reason that these are so cool is because of the decibel levels. They are so loud and it carries so far that even in a wooded area, when you blow that, I mean, that's barely. This thing has a lot of decibels and it will carry very far. So people a long way away, if you're lost or whatever, you can communicate and hear people with this. So it's a survival whistle. Nothing big, nothing important. The knife don't need that. But they put that on here as well, and that's just a little cool add-on. I say it all the time. It's all about marketing and packaging. And when those companies and the knife brands go those extra miles and they give you those little extra little touches, I appreciate that. Now, the next knife is my EDC knife. And there is no question when it comes to EDC fixed blades for me. If you've ever watched my videos, you know that. To me, if money's not an object, if you're not on a budget, there is no better EDC fixed blade than the Bradford Guardian knives. No question, in my opinion. Now, I'm not an expert by any means, so you might think of another knife that's better, and you're probably right. But in my opinion, the Bradford Guardian is the best EDC fixed blade out there. I love it. I've got the Guardian 3 over there. But the Guardian 3 was a little small for me. It was a 3-fingered handle. It's a little small. I like a bigger knife. So as nice as it is, and it is nice, it was just a little too small. I wanted a larger one. So what I did was I got this sucker right here. This is the Bradford Guardian 4. And everything I liked about that Guardian 3 was upsized and upscaled into the Guardian 4. And man, this thing lives up to the hype. It is fantastic. An excellent finger choil, an excellent grip. It indexes well. It's another knife with that excellent aggressive jimping right there on top. So it feels good in the hand. You get a good grip, a firm grip. This thing ain't going nowhere. A typical Guardian, it's just a Guardian blade. I mean, they come in different sizes, but they all look the same for a reason. Because this is a fantastic shape for EDC. A good point for piercing, for slicing. A good swedge to help the piercing. A great belly. A good flat grind. A nice edge. I mean, this thing is just, the geometry is fantastic all the way around. It's a full tang fixed blade. Now, this has got the diamond textured G10 handles, black and OD green. It's got a little hole back here for like a lanyard and stuff. I'm not big on those. But all in all, the Bradford Guardian is a fantastic knife. All you need to do when you want to decide on what you want to get for a fixed blade EDC knife is decide what size of a Guardian you want. If you have a really small hand and you like a minimalist approach to it, then you want a 3.2. If you want a larger knife, move up to the 3.5. If you want a good size knife, like me, then you want a 4 or a 5. This is the 4. It's fantastic. It's the perfect size for me. The 5 is probably too big. I've never owned one or anything, but this is fantastic. This is a great size for me. This is a perfect size for me. It also comes with a leather sheath. Now, the leather sheath is not as nice as the Tops leather sheath, but it's still pretty daggone cool. Excellent stitching. The Bradford is another knife that's American made. I mean, just a fantastic knife. Bowler N690 blade steel on this model. Now, you can get them with other blade steels as well, but this one is Bowler N690, and Bowler N690 is a pretty good daggone blade steel for an EDC fixed blade. Now, Bradford again is a great company, all American made. They make their knives in-house. They're fantastic. I love them. I think you can't go wrong with the Bradford Guardians as long as you get the right size. The big thing that people mess up with the Guardians, like I did, when I got my Guardian, I got a Guardian 3, not realizing that my 2XL glove hands is going to swallow that handle, and it's just going to be too small for my hands. So I needed a larger handle. With this knife, though, it's perfect. So measure, or not measure, I shouldn't say that, but find out what knife size you like. What knife do you own that is the best feel in your hand? If you have a larger knife that feels good in your hand, or if you have a smaller knife that feels good in your hand, find out what the length of that knife is, and then look online, find a Bradford Guardian that is close to that length, and that's the Guardian that you want to get. And if you get it, I'm telling you, you're going to love it. Very seldom, I don't think I've ever one time heard somebody say that a Bradford Guardian is not fantastic. I don't think I've ever one time heard that. I probably will now. Somebody will tell me in the comments how Bradford Guardian's horrible or something like that. I'm sure there's always one. But everybody I've ever talked to or commented or anything like that has always said Bradford Guardian is a fantastic EDC fixed blade. You can't beat them. And in my opinion, you can't for EDC. Now, let's move on. The next knife that I'm going to show you guys is my top tactical or self-defense style knife. And this is a fixed blade. Now, this was a little bit iffy and touchy for me because I know when you start talking tactical and self-defense, a lot of people like those Tonto tips and stuff. I had to consider that. But there was a few things about this knife that stand out to me. And the number one thing about this knife is who makes the knife. And you should know when I say that, if you watch my videos, what my knife that I'm about to speak on is. This is a Spartan Blades Alala. And the reason that I say that this knife won out for the self-defense or tactical EDC fixed blade is because it is made by the best tactical practitioners in the world. They are Green Berets, former Green Berets, who did far more than just be Green Berets in the military. That's their story, not mine. They only advertise being Green Berets, so that's where we'll stick with. But trust me, they did a lot of stuff in the military. Very accomplished guys who done a lot of things for our country. They used a lot of knives for a lot of different things. So if anybody knows what it takes for a knife to be quality and good, it's those kind of guys, because they've used them under the most extreme situations. The average person like you and I, we aren't going to ever put a knife through the kind of stuff that they put it through. We'll never use them in situations like they use them in. They use them busting through doors, actually real true self-defense. Actually not, probably not, because they have other things for that. Their knives are used for a lot of things, but the things that they do use them for are really extreme, hardcore use conditions. They learned that through a career, and then they later on, when they left the military, they started their own knife company to take what they learned and put it into use, creating knives that could do those very jobs. And they would hold up to doing those jobs. So the fact that this knife is good enough for them, it's good enough for me. Spartan Blades is a knife company. I say this every time I mention them, and I'll say it again. If you want to support a company that is made of former vets by vets. And Spartan Blades is one of those companies. And we need to support those guys, because those guys are the guys that stand on the wall for us. And unless you're going to do that, then go grab one and go stand on a wall yourself. I unfortunately never got a chance to. It's a regret of my life, but I will support them in doing this and their company and their blades. And this thing is fantastic. Now it's 1095 Crow Van steel. I love it. It's got excellent micarta handles. Excellent handles. You can get them with G10. You can get them with micarta. Just fantastic. This thing is absolutely fantastic. It's got a good thumb ramp right there. Let me see. I can't remember what the price on this thing is. I think it's actually pretty reasonably priced. Okay, so on Amazon, this knife right now is around $109. That is a steal. That is a steal. It comes with a really nice molded plastic sheath here. Fits excellent. And I don't know if you can hear that. It's got a push button lock release here. Slips right out. Listen to this. You hear that snap? That lock clicks in on those thumb ramps, those ridges, and locks it into place. This thing ain't going nowhere, because those are the kind of guys in their conditions and the stuff that they were doing, they could not risk a knife making noise, being loose, dangling, falling out, anything. It had to be locked in, secure, and tight. And that's why they do those types of things. They know what it takes for a knife to be good, all the way around, all the way down to the sheath. This is a fantastic knife. And if you know somebody in the military or law enforcement, this would be an excellent gift for them. You know, hey, I appreciate what you do, but I also appreciate what these guys do, so support them both. Buy a gift for them, and you'll be supporting killing two birds with one stone, so to speak. The next knife is my budget fixed blade. Now, this was the hardest one for me to choose, the budget fixed blade. And when I say budget, it's any knife that's under $100. I know that some people budget means 30, 40 bucks, and I understand that. I'm not trying to make anybody live to my budget, and I'm not trying to live to anybody else's. We all have our own budgets, and that's a perspective thing and a personal thing. So I understand if your budget is different. I completely understand that. So I use the term budget loosely, but I consider anything under $100 to be budget. This was a hard one because there's so many good fixed blades under $100 right now. A lot of really good ones. But this knife was recommended to me over and over and over. I heard so much about it. I heard about it folder. I heard about the fixed blade, folder, fixed blade, folder, fixed blade. Everybody kept telling me about it. I kept putting it off. I kept putting it off, and I kept putting it off. And finally I got it. And boy, I'm so glad that I did. You should know what it is. It's a petrified fish beluga. This thing is fantastic. The fit and finish on this is probably the best on the table. And it's a budget knife. Now, budget means $89.95. You can get them cheaper than that. Amazon and stuff, they're $89.95 on Blade HQ. Amazon, they're a little cheaper. Excellent jimping. Now, the jimping is that almost micro. It's not quite micro jimping, but it's not aggressive like I like. But it's excellent jimping for the average person. The average person is going to like this jimping a lot. They're not going to have a problem with it. It's got a good finger choil, excellent ergonomics. The handle is fantastic. G10 handles. It's smooth, feels good in the hand. It's got a spot back here for a lanyard. It's got two beautiful fullers on both sides of the blade, or as I call them, blood grooves, because I like being different. I like being dangerous. I'm just playing. I'll never use a knife and use them for blood grooves, but it's just a cool thing to call them. Excellent Kydex sheath. Got a couple leather straps here, rings for belts and stuff like that, belt loops. It's also got the lip right here, the raised lip, so you can get good release tension on it, a good snap. It ain't falling out. Excellent retention. This thing is phenomenal. The fit and finish on this knife is fantastic. If you have not seen or used a petrified beluga, you have got to remedy that problem. Now, I don't have the folder. I want to get the folder, but if it's anything like this, I know I'm going to love it. Now, this is Bowler N690 blade steel. So again, Bowler N690 blade steel. The same thing I got my Bradford in. I like the N690 for fixed blades. It just, for me, it works well. It does well. I like it. You know, it can take a lot of abuse. It's, you know, not as hard to sharpen as some other steels and stuff like that. Holds a good edge. I like it. Are there better steels for fixed blades? Absolutely. It's just a good steel that you can, you know, get for reasonable prices. You've got a lot of options for fixed blades in Bowler N690, and it's good enough for the Bradford Guardian. It's good enough for me. Fantastic knife. The petrified fish beluga. It's beautiful. It feels great in the hand. It's a great size. You know, the Bradford Guardian and the beluga. The blade shapes are different. They're different, but they both have good wide bellies, good flat grinds, larger blades, excellent points for piercing, for stabbing. There's some spine behind the point, so it's going to have some strength to it, so it's not going to snap on you very easy. Can it snap? Will it snap? If you do the wrong thing, absolutely. But if you use it under normal use, wear and tear, it's going to do just fine. Fantastic knife here. It's got a rounded spine, so it's not going to be, not a rounded spine, but rounded edges on the spine, I should say. So it's not got sharp edges, so you can't like strike ferro rods and stuff unless you ground that down with like a file or something, which people do. I would never do that to one of my knives. But all in all, great knife. For 90 bucks, you cannot beat the petrified beluga, because petrified fish beluga. It feels great in the hand, great in the hand, great sheath, great blade steel. All in all, a fantastic package here for $90. The last knife that I have for the best knives, fixed blade, of February 2025 is my mini fixed blade. This is another one that was hard. Am I going to go with a budget knife that's a small knife? Or am I going to go what I think is the best mini fixed blade that I got, whether it's expensive or not, It's just the best one that I got. And I decided I wasn't going to limit myself to price. I can do another video for just budget ones if I need to, but I wanted this to be truly the best knife I got in that range. Price is no object. And the best mini fixed blade that I got in February of 2025 is hands down, no question, mini fixed blade is this Straup or Stroop, however you want to say it, mini. This thing is insane. It is a fantastic knife. I mean, this thing is so daggone awesome. Has a look like the CRKT Spew, but only bigger, stronger. 1095 blade steel. It is awesome. It is awesome. The grind work is fantastic. It's beautiful. It has a rustic look. The grind marks and hammer marks on it are just beautiful. It gives it a great look. It's got the textured G10 handles. Now this is a 3-finger grip, but I expect that on a mini EDC fixed blade. I expect that. That's actually what they're supposed to be, is small EDC fixed blades. This thing is phenomenal. You can pierce with the sharp point, you can slice, you can do different things. It's got a good amount of cutting edge for such a small knife, just all the way around. It's got a great hole right here for a lanyard, so if you did want that extra real estate, you can get it. Now it does come with a Kydex sheath. Snaps in nice. It also comes with this clip. You can rotate that clip so you can do vertical carry, horizontal, whatever, cross draw. I leave it in the cross draw position, but all in all, it's a fantastic knife. A good knife in a Kydex sheath, well made. Another, I'm pretty sure, hold on a second, I'm almost 100% sure, and I don't want to say this wrong. Hold on, let me make sure, because I'm 99% sure that this is. Yep, American made, made in the USA. I was 99% sure, but I wanted to absolutely be positive. American made, fantastic knife. For the price, are they expensive? Yes. On Blade HQ, they're 160 bucks. So they aren't cheap. But cheap things aren't good, and good things aren't cheap. Sometimes they're affordable, but not cheap. This is a fantastic knife. I love it. I think it's great. It's all around the best EDC fixed blade, mini, small, that I have. Awesome. It's a great knife. Get one if you can. Try it out. You're going to love it as well. There are so many other knives that could be added onto this table. Knives that I don't have, knives that I do have. But these are, my opinion, the best knives of 2025 in February that I got. I love each and every one of them. I'm in love with these knives. I don't get to use these knives like I'd like to, and I never will be able to. But I do appreciate owning them, having them, looking at them, messing with them, sharpening them, using them when I can, but more than anything, showing them to you and talking with you about them. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your best fixed blades are from 2025, February, and hopefully you got a good one or two. Hopefully you did. I look forward to March on through the end of the year, because there's a lot of knives that I want to get and a lot of knives I want to share with you. I'm Chris, the Unprofessional Dad. I wish all of you sharp knives and happy lives. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and remember, tomorrow's the big day. And if you want one of these knives and you don't have it, and you win that budget tomorrow, either one of them, right here you go. You can have whatever one you want. I'm Chris, the Unprofessional Dad. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one, guys. Take care.